Well, no, that sounds excellent. I wanted to ask you about, company driver and owner operator, and I guess what advice would you have for the people, the pros and cons? I mean, you kind of hit some of them, as far as the scheduling worked out. It sounds like when you was an owner op, you could influence your schedule more, and with the
Right,
company driver, it's more like, hey, we need you guys to go, and
right,
that's
right.
the story.
Well, it's the freight that we haul. When we were owner operators, we would haul orange juice and meat, and we had all the time in the world. We could go to movies. We could stop, go to movies, go out
Right.
to dinner. Um, uh, but we did haul FedEx loads when we were owner operators, and we did haul FedEx. And when we hauled FedEx or UPS, those are tight loads, man. When you get them, you got to go.
Right.
You got like 15 minutes to fuel, and that's it, And then,
Right.
and when we hauled FedEx, when we were owner operators, that if it was due at noon, if we got there at 12:01, we didn't get paid. You didn't get paid a dime
Okay.
after you ran it. So
Right.
that's one thing. When I first started driving, I'm like, man, why are all these FedEx trucks and UPS? Every time the weather gets bad, it's icy, it's snowy, it's all the FedEx and UPS trucks in the ditch. And then when
Oh,
we started hauling FedEx and UPS and seeing that if you don't get there on time, you don't get
right.
paid.
Right. Right.
I'm like, that's why all those FedEx trucks and UPS are in the ditch, because they don't stop.
Right. Right.
But that's what we're doing right now. That's what we're
I see.
hauling is and sometimes we think, man, we think about going back, like just
Yeah.
getting our own truck and haul. It'd be nice to see a movie sometime, because you know. But one thing that you touched on before we started talking is you were saying about how our channel is a little bit different, and
It is.
trucking. Uh, one thing, trucking is very negative. It's a very negative industry, and that's one thing that I would tell my students right when I got them. I tell them first off, I say, listen, man, you know, because what I told you before a little bit earlier, when people get that CDL, they go through the sacrifice of going to school for 3 weeks, not getting paid, paying for the school. They're usually unemployed. They're struggling with money, and they get that CDL, and they come to that company, and they think I made it. I'm going to make 50,000. I'm going to make 60,000. I'm going to make 80, whatever they think in their mind. And it ain't like that. I tell them right up front, it's like nobody, it's tough here, man. Nobody cares about you. If you're going to be, whether you succeed or you fail in this industry, it's going to be because of what you did. You're like your own coach. You're coaching yourself. You're the coach of your team. And if you do really well in this industry, it's going to be because of what you did, what you listened to, what you learned. It's not going to be because you might have a little bit of inspiration from certain people, and you may have people to help you along the way, but it's going to be because of what you did and what you applied. And if you fail, it's going to be because of what you did and what you didn't apply. And I always told them the 80-20. I taught them the 80-20, that just like they use it in sports, the 20% of the team makes 80% of the money. The other 80% makes 20%.
Right.
It's like that in trucking, man. It's 80% of the people ain't gonna make it. 20% are gonna make it. Out of those 20%, 80% of them are gonna do below average or lower. The 20% are gonna do really good. Out of that 20%, 80%, 20% of them are gonna do really well. So when I went through trucking, I went through school, I went through training, I was in trucking for 2 months. I did not hear one positive thing in those 2 months. Everything that you hear is negative. And one thing that, why we try to get on YouTube, and we went a lot of different ways with this YouTube. We didn't know what we wanted to do, but
Right.
successful drivers, the 80% of the drivers that are below average or and less, those are the ones that are talking. Those are the ones that are complaining. Those are the ones that are bitching. The 20% that are doing real good, they're making money.
Right.
They're doing real good.
Right.
You don't hear much from them. When you go to whatever company you go to and you go to the driver's lounge and everybody's around bitching, you don't hear no positive because the guys that are making money aren't sitting around there
Right.
complaining about stuff. They're out there making money. So it's real hard in the industry for somebody to get a lot of good information and stay positive. And when we started the channel, she was telling me she wanted me to put out a lot of stuff about trucking and what's your advice and what do you think? And I was so hesitant about it, and we still haven't done that yet because there's so much negativity. Like, as soon as you say something, if I put something out there to try to say something positive, you're going to have 500 people saying some bull crap, you know, and it's not, it doesn't get out there the way that it should, you know, like the people that are the 80% of the fail rate are the people that are going to be commenting on your, you know, on your thing, and it gets you down, it wears you out after a while. I heard it for years. I've been in it for a long time. And the reason our channel is like it is, you said it's a lot different. It's a lot of energy. It's more like a life. There's life with trucking.
Right.
And a lot of our calls, a lot of the calls we got over the years, I would get from past students, I would get from past drivers. And a lot of them, we get calls like, what are you guys doing? What are you doing different? Why are you, you know, I'm in the same business as you. And I had workmates that I worked for like 5 years, and they've called me, why am I, you know, your lifestyle, why ain't I living like you? You know, why are you, what am I doing? You know, we're doing the same thing, and you're living a whole different life. You know, I had friends that told me, you know, that they're in trucking and they won't bring their wives over our house. They're like, I ain't bringing my wife over to that house. She's gonna wonder why we don't have no house like that. You know, we're in the same business. He goes, your wife drives a $100,000 Lexus. You got a $500,000 house, man. My wife will kick me out of the house if I bring her over there. You know,
Maybe.
so that's kind of what our channel, and we're trying to put positive stuff out there about truck. Like, you can live a life with trucking. You know, we're not telling anybody this is how you do it, that's how you don't. You know, we're just saying, man, we're like, I always say the Kardashians because everybody knows the Kardashians. You know, it's like a reality TV. You know, we're truck drivers, man. This is our life.
Right.
So it does what it does do. Our channel, the way that we do it, it brings all the messages we get, all the emails we get are positive. It's people like I'm saying, what are you doing? What can I do? You know, what can I do to get to that? How are you, you know, how do you afford a house like that? How do you, you know, how do you do this? And then you get positive people and they really want to learn. And then it's easy to talk to them. We don't get any negative emails. You know what I mean? Because we're not trying to tell people. We're not on there saying, hey, do this or that, or this is wrong, or this is right. We're just showing how we live. And we are community. We get hundreds of emails. You know, can you help me out? What can you tell me what to do? You know, so we don't have all of our comments on there with all these negative people just bombarding it with, you're stupid, you know, your wife needs to find somebody else, blah, 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 whatever. You know what I mean? So it was real, and it took us like a year to kind of figure it out. If we put anything out there where we try to say, oh, this is good or this is bad, then it brings out everybody. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So that's kind of how we had our channel is just, we reach more people like that want help just by doing what we do. And just kind of like you, how you reached out to us and like, hey man, this is different. You know, what you guys are doing is different. I want to talk to you, you know, that's what we're getting. We're getting emails and then we talk to them privately. You know, the people that are, we have people out there that have our phone numbers. They can call us directly. They can
Right.
email us. They can call us at any time. The people that really want the help. And that because YouTube, like your work that you do, you put a lot of time in that. That takes a lot of time, you know. And if you have people constantly running it down, it makes it tougher to, you know, stay positive. But how we're doing it.
Well,